It's part 6 of the Marseille save, and we're in the Champions League. Welcome back to the Gobby Gaffer over here in France, managing Marseille, and stay tuned for 1 or 2 more tutorial tips later on in this episode. However, lots of things have happened since you were last with me. I've signed another player, our Champions League group has been announced, and we received 12.7 million for participating in said Champions League. I think we should have a quick look at what's been going on. So I think recent results have put the first 2 games that we watched into some kind of perspective. Paris Saint-Germain is always going to be a very, very difficult game. Okay, 4-1 maybe flattered them, but it was the very beginning of the season, and well, there was shiny silverware on offer, and when you wave some shiny silverware in front of PSG, they're always going to win it, aren't they? So it was a cup game, it was one-off. The Rennes game, 3-2 to them. It was quite close, I think. Rennes are going to be one of those teams, I think. Every football team in the world, I think, has a bogey team who they always struggle against. You know, even the likes of Manchester City, we do have bogey teams, and, well, we still win leagues and whatever. So, Rennes, okay, let's take those 2 games out of it, because at the end of the day, since then, we've played FC Nantes at home, a 3-1 win, only conceded the 1 goal. Bearing in mind we conceded 7 in those first 2 games. I have switched things around a bit, mind, so I will show you that in a second. Another home game against Lyon, a 2-0 win in that one and a clean sheet. Montpellier away, a nice 4-1 win and only 1 conceded. Paris Saint-Germain, I thought, right, okay, we've had 3 wins on the spin, and this will be where it comes to an end. No, actually, we were at home and we got a creditable 1-1 draw out of it. They scored quite early on, and I thought, here we go, floodgates opening. But no, we actually scored a goal, came back 1-1 and kept it that till the final whistle. And then we played an away game at Guingamp and another 2-1 win. And after 6 games played, we're in 4th position, 13 points. And actually, if you notice, we're joint top because Paris Saint-Germain, Lille, Nice and ourselves are all on 13 points. So not a bad position to be in. And after a little bit head in hands after the last episode, little bit doom and gloom, I'm a much more positive Gobby Gaffer in this episode. The Champions League phase games have been announced, and well, it's quite tough. You probably would expect that. We're not going to be seeded. So we've got Ajax, Olympiacos, AC Milan, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, Legia Warsaw, Feyenoord and Barcelona. So we have the top 3 teams in Spain to play. I don't think it's going to go particularly well, but I did say we probably would have been better off in the Europa League. But you know what? If we can win a few games, I think you get about 2.5 million for winning a game. If we can win a few games, then it might bring 5, 6, 7, 8 million pounds in, which will be absolutely brilliant. I think it's probably the best we can hope for this season in the Champions League. But who knows? We're certainly not going to win it. So I did mention a bit of a change of formation. So I have moved Harrit off that left side and he's playing more centrally now, which kind of leaves us with only 1 left winger. So I have dipped into the loan market and in comes Simon Dingra, 24-year-old. Very, very good on that left-hand side. He actually can play as an inside forward. It's his role, and that's exactly how I'm playing him. So today we are going to watch 2 Champions League games. It's going to be against Ajax away and Olympiacos at home. There is a league game in between, Brest. I will play that off camera. But let's see how we do in the Champions League. Ajax and Olympiacos. Let's get stuck in, shall we? So like I said, a little change of formation. Also, 1 or 2 players are out of form. Merlin at left wing back last season was brilliant for us. This season, he's been dropped by his country and he's on an average rating of 6.5. Not playing well, to be honest. So it's not ideal. Also, centre-backs, I wasn't very happy with the pairing. Alip, the new signing, has now come in as the left centre-back. So we have a team of Lopez in goal, back four of Williams, Alip, Balerdi and Holm. Saavedra is going to play the DLP. Spurzian and Mazzala. Harrit has now moved further to the right, if you will, as an attacking midfielder. We have two wingers on, or inside forwards, Adingra and Conceição, and Vitinha up top. And we are underway, and you probably, the eagle-eyed of you will probably notice there that I am going attacking in this game. I have tried one or two of the games, starting off in a more defensive approach and just let the game settle down. But it didn't work. We were getting no shots, nothing on target. And to be honest, I mean, I did say I was going to do a few tutorial tips in the game. We did look like have we got an injury? It's Ajax. Ajax have got an injured player. Right, okay. Big alert there. Ajax have got an injured player, and it's Badu, and he very nearly scores there. So Badu is either going to score today or create an opportunity. Yeah, so like I was saying, I don't really believe in playing defensive in Football Manager. Personally, I don't think it ever works. And there we go, Badu has scored his goal. So predictable this game, but sometimes you just have to have a chuckle. Either that or you just stop playing it. So at the end of the day, is he going to be offside? It's disallowed. Nice. So the referee and the linesman, possibly today, certainly the VAR official, are on our side. And yes, he was offside. So we have up the mentality now. We have gone attacking. Like I say, I don't really believe in defending in Football Manager. It never seems to work. For one, it drags the opposition onto you. And for two, you create no chances. But anyway, Balerdi there. Nice little nip in. Conceição. What can Conceição do with this? Spurzian, who is an absolutely brilliant player for us. Harrit, Adingra, lovely ball through to Conceição, and unfortunately he misses by a mile with that. So I think we are going to say that we're pleased. It's not got the greatest response from the players, but anyway, let's see how we do in the second half. So I'm looking now for us to get a few more shots on target, having gone to attacking. Balerdi now plays the ball to Holm. Conceição into Saavedra. Saavedra again is another one of those brilliant players that are brought in. Unfortunately, commentator's curse, he gives the ball away. Saavedra, this is going to be in the back of the net, I think, this one. Saavedra got his foot on the ball there, yeah, you can, again, it's another one of those things in Football Manager, you can predict it. So if you've got an injured player on the opposition, they will always either create or score or be man of the match. And if see there, Saavedra got a lovely touch on the ball and won it, but it bounced off to one of their team, which happens 95% of the time, and it's always a goal. So Ajax are winning 1-0. Thanks very much, Football Manager, for being so predictable. Gomez now flirts the ball in, and a header just over the top, and we are looking a little bit ragged now, and well, we're not going to get the 2.5 million out of this game, are we? 63 minutes in an effort to try and get back in this game. Both wingers have been changed. Merlin, who normally plays left wing back, can actually play as a winger. Not that high up. It's another one of those bonkers things in Football Manager. He can actually play here, but he can't play there. Go figure. But he is going to play there today. Bernabé comes on that right hand side. We brought Nzola on up front, so we've got a twin strike force now, and Ketcher's come on as the Mazzala. Well, it's been a very tight game this, but 72 minutes on the clock, and we're yet to have a shot on target. I have just given him a shout of demand more. Holm plays the ball back to Balerdi. Play it back to the goalkeeper, because that's another glitch in Football Manager. If you play the ball back to the goalkeeper and pull the opposition out, then generally that results in a goal. I'm giving all the tricks of the trade away here today, but having played Football Manager for many years, and that's a nasty tackle. Is he going to get sent off for that one? It possibly looks like he might get sent off, and we do have a chance here to get one of our set-piece experts on the ball. And yes, he does get a red card. So the assistant manager is saying we should change to very attacking. And we've done just that. Ajax now. Oh my word. And we see nothing from the free kick. You're having a laugh. Okay, we're playing 10-man Ajax. I've made all my substitutions now. Lovely ball to Bernabé. Bernabé plays it ball to Vitina. Vitina's going to come left with that. Williams, the young kid that we've got on loan from Arsenal, I think it is. Holm, what's Holm going to do with this? Oh, and I think he's hit the frame of the goal there. And that has gone for a corner. But absolutely nothing on target. It's taken 86 minutes for us to get a shot on target. And this has been pretty poor. A narrow loss, but not ideal for our first game in the Champions League. And I don't know what the assistant manager's on. Whatever he's on, can I have some of it as well? Because he's saying satisfied. No, we're angry. And that is not good enough. Okay, very poor start there. I am just going to go and play Brest off camera now, and then we'll be back for the Olympiacos game. That is at home, and I probably would expect 3 points out of that one. We'll see you shortly. So a good win against Brest there, 5-1, so very convincing. And one or two teams have still got to play yet, but as it stands, we are top of the league. But I did say in this episode I would give you a few more little helpful tips. Well, I hope they're helpful. Little tips and as by way of a tutorial. So left trigger, pull out that sidebar and go into finances. And if you go into finances over here, you may well know this, but it's always useful. Some people might not. And go into make a board request. Now I've just done this. These things in here, if you've only ever been in once and you've seen what they are, they change. I've been waiting here to get the opportunity to ask the board to up the retained revenue on transfers. It was 70%. I asked them because it came up, so I made the request. They've upped it to 85%. They seem very reluctant to give me the 100%, but at least it's an improvement. So I have been in here, and like I say, if you scroll along, you can ask for a new contract, increase wage budget, increase transfer budget, improve the training facilities, build a new stadium. The other thing that was in there that I asked for was improved at youth level. And they've come back and said yes. So they're spending 2 million on youth training, which will hopefully bring us some better young French players. However, I don't know whether in the console version that is as important as in the PC version, and I'll tell you for why. So again, if you left trigger and go up to home, click on home, and then come over here and click on league table. And then if you just use the L1, R1 buttons at the top and go on to information, and you can see here, at the moment it's on by default season preview. If you go into rules, this tells you the rules of the league. So it's telling you there lots of things about positionings, how much you earn for winning the league, which European competition you get into, all of that kind of stuff. But if you've never played the PC version runs very closely to real life. So your squad registration rules will be quite strict, and the European rules are even stricter. For instance, you must have players who have been trained homegrown at your club. You must have 4 or 5 of those. Homegrown in country, you probably got to have 7 or 8. You can only have so many foreign players in the team. None of you, all of that kind of thing. From what I can see in the console version, there's very, very little in there. And if we come down here to transfer and registration rules and read those, there's very little in there. It's more about loan players. There are 1 or 2 rules, but as it stands, so we're in the Champions League this season, as you know. In the PC version, as soon as you get into the Champions League and those games are announced, you would then get registration for it. So you'd then have to pick 24 players out of your squad, which, believe me, in the PC version causes you major problems because you've always got somebody you have to leave out. They get a grumpy on, want a transfer, upset the dressing, all of that kind of thing. From what I can see, well, we're actually playing Champions League games. There's been nothing come up about registration rules for it. So I'm not quite sure. I mean, again, there's something there about miscellaneous rules telling you nations treated as EU, but there's very, very little about registration. And in fact, if we go into, we do left trigger and go into competitions and select UEFA Champions League, do the same thing again, go to information and rules, and then scan down here. It's telling you about all the, the knockout phase and all of that kind of thing. Qualification in there, prize money. So you get 2.4 million for a win, which is what I was saying about 2.5 million if you win a game, which is all handy money. So, I mean, if you win all of your 8 games, what's that? 8, 16, it's about 18 million, which is very, very nice money. Not that we are going to win all our games, but at the moment we are looking for registration rules. And from what I can see, again, like I say, there's very, very little in here, which seems a bit bonkers because it's not really running true to life. However, the bonus is it doesn't cause you any headaches. So you're not leaving players out. You're not having to have so many French players, so many. From what I can see, that appears to be the rule of this game, of the FM24 console. So it's very, very useful to know, because on my transfers, I've been looking for French players thinking, right, we're going to need, maybe, I don't know, 2/3, 3/4 of the squad to be French players, some homegrown at club, some homegrown in country. It doesn't appear to be like that. Okay, back to the football. This episode, it's going to be war and peace, isn't it? But I hope you stuck around for that little bit of, a little bit of a tutorial there. And I'm not a boffin on the game by any stretch of the imagination, but from what I can see, those registration rules there's very, very little in there. And I certainly requesting the board for things now and again is no bad thing, particularly if you want to upgrade training facilities, want more transfer budget and all that sort of thing. They can say no, but sometimes they will say yes. And they've said yes to both of my requests. So it's always useful. Okay, back to the football. We have got Olympiacos now in the Champions League. So more Football Manager shenanigans, and the more you play this game, the more it drives you potty. But more often than not, another thing with Football Manager that you will find out is that 2 days before a game, you will always get an important player injured. This time it's 2. And yes, as you can see there, Holm and Gendry, both my right wing backs, both injured before a very important Champions League game. Oh my word. Okay, so I am having second thoughts about the Champions League with regard to playing the top teams and playing a bit more defensive. And I think the next game that we play, certainly the Real Madrids and the Barcelonas of this world, I think we are going to have to play with a low block and be a bit more defensive. We're probably not going to score a goal in the game, but it might stop us conceding. Anyway, this game against Olympiacos, we are going to stay on our gegenpress attacking style. I've had to bring Mbemba in at right wing back because, like I say, the game has robbed me of both my wing backs. It's amazing, isn't it? You have 2 players for every position and you think you're sorted, and then the game thinks otherwise. No, we'll take both of them off you. So, but anyway, the team today is Lopez in goal. Back 4 of Merlin. Alep is back today. He was suspended for the last game. And I need to maybe have a word with him about being a bit too aggressive. But back 4 Merlin, Alep, Balerdi and Mbemba. Saavedra is the DLP. Ketcher and Mazzala. Harrit is still playing that attacking midfielder. The 2 wingers are Adingra and Sarr with Vitinha up top. So it's vital today that we do get 3 points. We cannot lose our first 2 Champions League games. But you never know, do you? We in the last league game, we came out like, a runaway train, and scored 5 goals, and we were absolutely brilliant. All the passing was very crisp, and it was everything was looking. You knew from the kickoff things were going to go right. This game, however, we have got a free kick here right from the kickoff, and Olympiacos are going to float that over the top. I mean, that does not mean that they are going to be, they've had that one shot. We've had a shot as well now, so we do need to pick this game up, and I think we are going to change the mentality. Olympiacos at the moment getting all of the highlights, so we are going to go attacking in the game. Lopez bowls the ball out to Alip. Down this side, Merlin has come back today as left wing back just to give us a little bit more. The problem with Williams is that I think he's a very good player. He is going to be a very good player. He's very young, and Champions League games are maybe a little bit of a step too far. So Merlin, bit more experience today. He's only got an overall average for the season of 6.5, which is not great, but he is very experienced. That's a nice ball to Sarr. Can Sarr put that in the back of the net? He certainly can. And we have our first goal in the Champions League. And Ismail Sarr there sticks the ball in the back of the net after 8 minutes, and we're 1-0 ahead. And this was a very nicely worked goal. After a couple of highlights from Olympiacos, we do spring a bit of a counter-attack, and Sarr, right-footed, into the back of the net. Absolutely beautiful. So playing really well here. We have 4 or 5 players now on green stats, which is always nice to see. We do need to pick that ball up, however, and we haven't done. So Seaman now is running down that side, skips his marker, ball into the box. Oh, and we do get away with one. A little bit of buffoonery going on there. I'm not quite sure. There seems to be a bit of a deflection, but we do get away with one. 9 shots, 3 on target, an XG of 1.12. So Balerdi with the free kick. Harrit takes that neatly. Alip at the back. What's Alip going to do with this? Harrit. Ball into midfield, or we're going to go wide. We have 2 players left here on the wide. Merlin plays a lovely ball to Adingra. Adingra has scored a couple of goals since he joined, but that was very, very poor from him. And generally when players stumble and lose the ball like that, it means they're kind of not up to the pace of the game, or maybe not up to the pace of the opposition, if you will. And that was, I mean, so that one mistake there from Adingra has cost us a goal, and not ideal. We should really have been putting this game to bed. We should have gone 2-0, 3-0 up, but that was very, very, very poor. Tried to get, we were just chasing that all of the time. So just before half time, can we stick the ball in the back of the net and go in the lead? Oh, that looks like a penalty. Referee is going to consult VAR on this one. Can we get a penalty just before half time and go in 2-1 in the lead? Let's see what VAR says. The penalty has been awarded. This usually goes to Vitinha. He did score a penalty in the last game. So Vitinha, come on lad, we're relying on you. Put this in the back of the net and let's go in. 2-1 in the lead. Vitinha strikes it into the top corner, and we do go into the half-time break 2-1 ahead. And we are going to say please. That's actually changed my half-time team talk. We do need to be. So we played 3 games in a week. We played Ajax, Brest 2 days later, Olympiacos. So we've got to look for tired players, and I think we are going to make some changes here. I think Spurzian is going to come on for Ketcher, who is looking very, very tired, and Balerdi at the back. Do we make a change for him? I think we will. Bitshiabu, I think he's going to come on for him. He's on a yellow anyway. So we'll make those 2 changes at half-time, just freshen the team up a little bit. So the stats do have us well in the lead in this game. Olympiacos are trailing us quite badly, but they do have that 1 goal and are definitely looking for the second. And it's all Olympiacos as far as the highlights go. We need to repel this attack. We don't want that ball in the back of the net again. Adingra there makes up for his first half howler when he gave the ball away and actually works really hard, picks the ball up. Spurzian, a little ball slid forward now. Can we? Oh, he's having a shot. And it just skims the top of the net. Vitinha now picks this ball up from the goal kick. Harrit, these long balls from the keeper never work. I don't like them. And Sarr again. What an absolute storming strike that was. And the goalkeeper there went long. It's never a good idea in Football Manager. Don't go long. It always comes back at you. Vitinha picks the ball up. Harrit, lovely ball to Sarr. And Sarr says, go on, have some of that. It's 3-1. 3 more changes. Bernabe has come on for Harrit, who was very tired. It's not surprising. 3 games in a week. It's going to take it out of these players. This is going to be a problem this season, keeping up with the Champions League and trying to keep the league table looking well. I mean, we're top at the moment. Can we keep it like that with Champions League games in the mix? I don't know. Anahi comes on as the DLP and the young kid Williams comes on at left wing back. So we have gone to a cautious mentality now just to try and keep a little bit of discipline. And Bemba is going to play this ball to Adingra. Can Adingra do what Sarr does? Yes, he can. And Adingra there, wading in with a goal. And he's come over this side, right-footed, whacks it in the back of the net. And this is a very nice victory. And, 2.4 million in the pot as well, don't you know? We'll have a look at the finances in a second. But our finances are looking quite nice. And, wins like this in the Champions League are only going to make them better. And Bemba throws the ball to Bernabe. Bitshiabu now to Benahi, Alip. I mean, a 5th goal here would be very, very nice. The 5-1 win against Brest was so important, not just for the league position, but for momentum as well. And that's in the back of the net again. And we're 5-1 ahead against Olympiacos. And what was looking at one stage as though it was going to be a little bit dicey. When it went 1-1, that goal just before half-time really, really perked us up. And this is lovely. Adingra there. And he does get a little bit of luck there. It comes off the back of one of their defenders. But we are 5-1 ahead. Loose ball there in midfield. Anahi, Bernabe. He's going to slide that ball to Adingra. Can he get another one? Oh! And that whistles by the post. So with all my substitutes used up, there's 1 or 2 players on the pitch now who are absolutely dead on the feet. But 24 shots, 8 on target, an XG of 3.47. And it looks like we are going to get our first win in the Champions League. And yes, we have. And we're punching the air there on the pitch. And the Olympiacos players are down on the haunches. And, well, that's a very poor result for them. I think they lost their first game as well. So they will be bottom of that Champions League. And, of course, we're absolutely delighted with that. Let's have a quick look at the league table. 2 games played. And, there are teams still to play yet. But it looks quite nice. We're in 5th with 3 points. Guess who's top? Yeah, Man City, no surprise there. But the interesting thing is after 2 games played, Ajax have won both of them and are second in the league, well, joint top with 6 points. So maybe that 1-0 loss to Ajax, maybe that puts that into perspective a little bit. Well, our Champions League campaign is well and truly up and running. It's a shame we couldn't get something against Ajax. The win against Olympiacos, I would have, if I was a betting man, I would have said I would have put a bet on that one that we would win. I think there's maybe 1, possibly 2 more games in there I would expect something out of. The rest of them, I don't think we're going to get anything. Certainly the big 3 in Spain, I'd be very surprised. But we have done the business on PSG this season, in the league at least. We got a 1-1 draw with them. A 1-1 draw with Real Madrid, anybody? I don't know. We'll see you very shortly.